It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Hello and welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. I'm your host, Uncle Roy, and this is my lovely assistant, Miss Callie Alice. Oh, Callie, come here. Oh. Get over here. You got to turn around. Oh. Yeah. We're dressed for the fair, as you can tell. We're going to do fair foods today. Callie Allie's a hot dog, and I'm the vendor. Is that right, Callie Allie's? Oh. And this is my flour container that I got second place on at the Hennepin County Fair. And this is my herb container that I got second place on at the Hennepin County Fair. The first place container is the vegetable one, and that's out in the garden because pumpkins have grown over the container and they're into the ground now, all over the place. But anyway, we're going to get back to the fair food. And our first recipe, we got lots to do today. But the first one we're going to do is we're going to make corn dogs. Yay! Weenies on a stick. Yeah, Callie Allie is a weenie today too. Yeah. So, in our bowl, we're going to be mixing our dry ingredients. And for this, we need 2/3 cup of your yellow cornmeal. Now these recipes that I'm giving you are the same kind that you can use, that they use at the state fairs and other places, county fairs, etc. And I thought it'd be kind of fun. We could do our own fair foods at home, and you can. There's lots of recipes for at home. And inside of this 2/3 cup of cornmeal, we need 1 cup of flour. And remember now, we always take and level these off because we want to get the exact ingredients. Even the slightest amount more can really destroy your recipe or make things drier and harder. And then we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. These are all going right into the bowl. And remember, I broke my ½ teaspoon measuring spoon, so I'm just doing double quarters. I know, I should just get myself a new set. I just don't. And then it needs a teaspoon of salt. And of course, I use the kosher salt. And that's because it has less sodium than iodized salt, and it's much healthier for you that way. And it does make everything lighter and fluffier too, because salt is a leavening agent in all your breads and cookies and cakes. So you have to have salt in your recipes in order for it to rise nice and full. So that's 1 teaspoon of salt, and we need 2 tablespoons of white sugar. Now I've got my oil heated up. I've got one of those Fry Daddy type things, and that comes up to the perfect temperature, so you don't have to worry about it if you're on the stove and you have a gas or electric and you get it too hot and it smokes up the house. That's why we're outside, because I don't like the smell of oil when it fries, the deep fryer in the house. I just don't like that clinging oil smell. It clings to everything, the curtains, the drapes. Oh, you just can't get rid of it. So these are our dry ingredients. Now we take and mix these up thoroughly. Oh, let's go with my little weenie. Oh. You want to make sure you get this all thoroughly blended together, all these dry ingredients. You want to make sure that baking powder and the salt is all thoroughly everywhere mixed together into the flour and cornmeal. And that sugar gives it a nice little crispy edge. So those are our dry ingredients. Now for the wet ingredients. Oh, it's hot out here today, Lordy. It always is hot at the fair time too. Hot during the day and cold at night. So now we need 3/4 cup of milk, along with 1 egg, and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Oh, Callie drinking out of the watering can. Oh, she hot too. She's waiting for a weenie. Look at her. She knows what hot dog is. Yeah. She loves hot dogs. So now we just take and mix up thoroughly our wet ingredients. And then just take and make a well in the middle of the dry ingredients. And we'll pour this right in the middle. And then we just mix this up until very well moistened. Now this is a quick breads recipe. I mean, that's what the category would fall under. So it's okay if you have lumps in your batter. You don't have to have it real smooth. And if you did have it real smooth, you're activating that gluten. Then your corn dogs, the crust is gonna be a little tough. So as soon as you get it all moistened, that's enough. And then we'll just stop. Now I got my hot dogs on skewer sticks. You can just get the regular shish kebab sticks if you want to. Break them in half and stick those inside the hot dog. But I have these laying on a paper towel. You want them at room temperature, and then the paper towel is going to absorb any excess moisture on the hot dog so that the batter sticks well to the hot dog. And my oil is already heated up. Oh, hell, these are looking good. And just, put that in your batter. Make sure we get this all covered well. And just lay that in your oil. Be careful now, you don't want to drop it in because you don't want to splatter up and get burnt. And then we just fry these until they're brown, which will take anywhere from like 2.5 to 5 minutes. And then when these are all done, we'll come back and show you. These are gonna look so good, Callie. Boy, these turned out really, really good. Oh, they look just like they're right out of the state fair. Look at that corny dog. Oh, just like a fair dog. Well, I'm gonna get your coals up and show you these when we get all of our recipes done and we'll put together on a platter. Those are our corn dogs. Very simple and easy to do and wonderful treat. But do it outside, you don't smell up the house, or you can do the house and make sure you get well ventilator underneath your hood fan too. That'll suck up the oil smell. Now, for our next one, we're going to deep fry cheese curds. Callie loves cheese. Look at her. Look at my little hot dog. My little weenie. Look at my little weenies. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Come here. So pretty. Oh. Yeah, look at the little weenie. Oh, hot dog. Yeah, keep it hot dog. Right. Yeah, hot too. They're hot here too. Keep it white hot too. So, now we're going to make our cheese curds. Oh God, I love cheese curds. Who doesn't? Everybody loves the deep fried cheese curds at the fair. And you always wonder how they make them. They got so many people have different recipes. There's a million recipes out there how to make things. But we're going to do it this way. Any type of pancake mix. I happen to have Bisquick, but you can use any other kind of pancake mix. And what we're going to be needing is a 1/2 cup of pancake mix plus 1 tablespoon. So that's 5 ounces of pancake mix all together. I even got Callie's treat jar out here too. Yeah. She wants the other treats. And then we need our beer. This is a beer batter. Now this is not my tempura beer batter, which is light and crispy. This is a little thicker. And so this one calls for 5 ounces of beer also. Oh, critters. This flew by. Grasshopper. So that means a half a cup plus 1 tablespoon, which is 5 ounces. And just pour the beer slowly, because you want beer, you don't want all foam. And 1 tablespoon. And then 1 egg. And that's it for that. And then we'll just take and mix this up until everything's all incorporated. And this one here too, you don't have to get it completely smooth, but it's, I mean, this recipe you want a little bit more on the smoother side. You don't have to worry too much about the gluten because we don't want a fat, thick batter. So it's okay if you make this smoother. We want to make sure that that egg and beer is incorporated into that flour very well. Then we're just going to take and put in our curds into the batter. Now you want to make sure that your cheese curds are at room temperature and lay those also on a paper towel to absorb any excess moisture, so that way the batter will stick to the cheese curd. And then I just have a slotted spoon, like those kitty litter scoopers. It's not, oh, this is specially made for oil. But it looks like those. And that just helps to drain off the excess batter. And we can just drop those right in. Now just be careful so they don't splatter too hard. And you don't have to do the whole batch at once. And I don't think I will. I think I'll wait a while on that. You don't want to, you want them all to get done approximately at the same time. And these are going to be our deep fried cheese curds. And then I already have here my baking sheet. This is the one with the edges on, which is fine because we don't want things to spill out now, because we're not going to bake on this. But I have a newspaper folded up inside it, and that's going to absorb all the excess grease. And I'm using just regular plain old 100% pure vegetable oil. I like that best for frying foods because it's all natural. And it's light and crisp, and it's not going to give you an off taste like corn oil does or olive oil does. Peanut oil is good too, but that's all vegetable. And then as soon as these done, we'll just take and do another batch, and we'll get back to our other recipes. Okay, now our cheese curds are done. Ooh. You want to be careful out too. If you get too hot of oil, your cheese is going to melt, which I had some problems with. So you want to make sure your temperatures are correctly too. Now we're going to go on to our third fair recipe, and these are going to be funnel cakes. Oh, I got right, Callie, cakers. Oh, she loves cakers. Yeah. And for this, we need 1.5 cups of flour. Oh, it's hot out here, Callie. Oh, I'm glad we're cooking outside. If we were inside, I would just really be sweating. And 3 tablespoons of sugar. get our dry ingredients first combined before I add the wet. Oh, here we are. And a half teaspoon of cinnamon. Now this is optional, you don't have to put the cinnamon in, but this gives it a nice flavor. Oh, what are you doing? Trying to escape? One-fourth makes a half. And a quarter teaspoon of cardamom, and this is optional also. But cardamom and the cinnamon is more of a Swedish thing, or Norwegian, more Scandinavian. We put cardamom in just about everything we eat, our baking treats that is. And we need 1.5 teaspoons of baking soda. And on your soda too, I'm not worried about it too much because I do a lot of baking, but if you don't, your soda and baking powder can be a little inactive on the top. So you want to take and mix that up before using it if it's been sitting on your shelf for a long time. What are you doing, Callie? Oh, she got a stick. She want to play. She's down there playing with her stick. And 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. These are gonna be nice and fluffy, Callie. And 1.25 teaspoons of kosher salt. I always put in that kosher salt. And then we just mix this all together. And then for the wet ingredients, 1 cup of milk and 2 eggs. We're going to mix those together first, the liquids, before we add this to our dry ingredients. We want a well-beaten egg and milk mixed together first. And then we just pour this into our dry ingredients. And then we just mix this up until they're all blended well together. And this here you want to get smooth. And then we use our funnel. Make sure you put your finger on the bottom of the funnel so we don't lose all the batter. And you only need about 1/2 cup. Or about a cup, I think it was. A cup or 1/2 cup. However much you want to, however big you want to make them, really. But then you just take and let go and start in the middle. Just swirl and twirl around the oil. And you can keep that as it's going to cover the whole area of your fry oil. So these are going to be quite large as far as diameter goes. But then you just cook these until they're lightly golden brown and then flip them over, which happens up really quickly. And then we'll just transfer it to our newspaper. So that can absorb all the excess grease. It smells good. So I have about a 3/4 cup batter is what I have. And this is our finished product. Oh, look at Callie, don't these beauties? Oh, lovely corn dogs. Look how beautiful those are. They're just like the state fair. And our lovely funnel cakes, all the little swirly twirlies. And our lovely little cheese curds. Oh gosh, those are so pretty. Everything looks so good. Now we gotta take a sample, Callie's. Mmm. Well, thanks for watching the show. At this time, we do our question and answer period, and you can write us any questions that you have for Callie or myself. Just write to the Northwoods Cooking Show at yahoo.com, and we'll try to answer them as best we possibly can. Callie, let's see who wrote us this week. Come here. pretty. Sit pretty. Oh, get over here. Sit pretty. Sit. Oh. Another question, Callie. Dear Uncle Roy, Miss Callie, is it hard to make an herb container in the house? Signed, Steve of St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Oh, Steve. Oh, this is the one I got a second place on at the fair. Last year I got a first place. But anyway, no, it's not. You can just buy your herbs, and you don't have to have perennial ones. You can get annual ones too. And I happen to have thyme here, and lavender, and rosemary. And I even took and made a heart-shaped topiary out of the rosemary just for fun. And what you can do is just stick those in there in your container and just water frequently. Make sure that the soil stays moist, it doesn't dry out, and you don't want to get it wet either. And make sure you have good holes on the bottom for drainage. Because if the water seeps up there and doesn't drain out, it's going to kill your plants and the herbs. And you want to keep them in a sunny window. Herbs like a lot of sunshine. And that's why a lot of people have mistakes of trying to grow them and they just don't grow that well indoors because it's too dark. Keep them in the window where you got a lot of sun and it'll grow just fine. And I keep this inside the house and it grows just wonderfully, as you can see. And I'll bring it outside every once in a while, but in the wintertime I can still grow the herbs as long as you keep it in a sunny window. And add a little fertilizer, just a little bit every so often, about once every other month or so. But you can tell I got lots of herbs here. And it's great because you can just take and strip off what you need and more will grow back. I hope that answers your question, Steve. And thank you for watching the show. And like again, if you have any questions for Callie or I, just write us at thenorthwoodscookingshow@yahoo.com. So it's time for us to say goodbye, Callie. Oh, how about a cheese curd? Come here. Oh, oh. And Callie and myself would like to say, eat healthy, which this isn't, but it's still good. Be safe and spread the sunshine. Say goodbye, Callie. Bye-bye. Oh, all the way, all the way.